You know, I was planning on coming out with the next Forged Fiction episode, but then I got some comments that really got my goat. Something that I have had to address over and over and over again. And it's just getting annoying to have to keep repeating myself. So instead of having to retype everything or re-say everything, instead, I'm just going to make this video. I know that there are thousands of these videos on YouTube already, but it seems this needs to be continually repeated. It pretty much boils down to just the definition of atheism. There have been so many times that I've been talking to a theist, and when I tell them that I'm an atheist, they have to tell me that I need to disprove God. But that's not how it works. Atheism is one thing and one thing alone. It is one position on one claim. It is the answer to one question. Do you believe God exists? No. That doesn't mean you believe that he doesn't exist. Those are two different, very distinct philosophical claims. And it really just kind of boils down to the word atheism. Theism, without belief in God. So that's pretty simple. Now that also encompasses those people that do believe that there is in fact no God. If someone tells you that they're an atheist and they believe that there is in fact no God, then they would have to demonstrate that. That is a positive claim. The burden of proof would fall on them. I think there are some God claims, some concepts of gods, that can be disproven. It all depends on the given axioms. But when it comes to just some vague notion of a God, just a personal God, we don't really have enough information to disprove that. Here's a way that you can help your theist friends understand atheism. And for this, I'm going to be using Matt Dillahunty's courtroom analogy and his jar of gumballs analogy, or whatever you want to call it. So in reality, there are two options. There either is a God or there isn't. And when I say either there is a God or isn't, in the there being a God category, I put in polytheism too, God or gods, but I'm just going to use God for shorthand. So there are two prongs. God exists, God doesn't exist. Both theism and atheism address the first prong, the notion, the claim that God exists. Theists accept that claim, and atheists don't accept that claim. When atheists don't accept the claim that God exists, that does not mean that they are accepting the claim that he doesn't exist. So you can picture it like a courtroom. The defendant is either guilty or innocent. But the court is concerned with one thing, their guilt. The jury will say guilty or not guilty. If the jury says that the defendant is not guilty, that is not the same thing as the jury saying the defendant is innocent. All that they're saying is there wasn't enough evidence presented to justify guilt. It's just the same with atheism. Atheists are not convinced that there is a God. You can also picture it this way. You have a jar of gumballs. The amount of gumballs in this jar is either even or odd. So just picture this jar as being completely full of gumballs. If someone says the number of gumballs is even, that is a positive claim. They would have to demonstrate how they know the number of gumballs is even. And if there isn't enough evidence to support that claim that the number of gumballs is even, then you are justified in not accepting that claim. But if you don't accept the claim that the number of gumballs is even, that doesn't mean you do accept the claim that the number of gumballs is odd. So when I say I'm an atheist, all I'm saying is that I am not convinced that there is a God. What I'm not saying is that I'm convinced there is no God. And remember what I said earlier. There are atheists who do in fact believe there is no God. In that case, they have a burden of proof. This is just a really simple idea, and I don't understand how it keeps going over people's heads. Furthermore, if somebody tells you they're an atheist, you really only know one thing about them. that they don't believe in God. It tells you nothing about their stance on morality or epistemology. It doesn't tell you if they believe in evolution or the Big Bang. It doesn't tell you any of those things. So when I say that atheism is one position on one claim, I am literally telling you it is one position on one claim. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We also have a Patreon, so consider donating if you want to help this channel survive. But in the meantime, you guys can check out our Teespring. There are lots of wacky and fun shirts over there. And you can check out our website. We have forums. You can ask us questions. You can chat with everybody else on the forum. It's all fun. But that's it for today. Thank you, and stay tuned for more scholarship.